Hello and welcome back to Tesla News. My name is Marian and I'm your host today. Today we're going to look into potential expansions and why Tesla will be at some point the biggest producer of cars in Germany. And we also have issues with BYD. There's no official partnership right now, but we have seen BYD battery packs already here in Germany. But currently BYD has a lot of issues with their battery packs, so we're going to discuss this issue as well. Now, when it comes to next generation vehicle manufacturing efficiency, we know that Tesla is already working on reducing its footprint and being more efficient with the space they are using. We have seen that from the factory Fremont, which was not built by Tesla, so it couldn't be that efficient as we have it in Shanghai, Austin, and Giga Berlin right now. But there was an evolution happening, and Shanghai was already way more efficient. And right now, Austin and Giga Berlin are working on to be even more efficient when it comes to space and the footprint. And this is what I'm actually looking forward to, because I believe that Tesla will be able to produce 3 million cars per year in Giga Berlin at some point when further expansions are happening, and they are planned. Now, for the current building in Germany, we have already a max capacity of 500,000 cars, 220,000 cars in a run rate. And now the interesting part is I believe that Tesla will be able to actually get out even more cars than the max 500,000 cars they were initially planning, because Tesla is a master in being even more efficient by time and actually redoing the production line to actually get even more cars out of this entire factory. So it's going to be very interesting. I further believe that Tesla is going to build maybe 10 or 11 maximum gigafactories, but then produce around 2 to 3 million cars. And with that, they will be the biggest supplier of electric cars in the world at some point. Now, when we look into the entire supply chain, Tesla has mentioned, or Elon Musk has mentioned, they were not very happy that they have to move in refining, but they will do that in Texas. The same is happening with cathode production, which is also something that they have to do by themselves because there is not enough supply. And so we have this entire life cycle here up to recycling when it comes to redwood materials or doing it by themselves. So this is very important to understand, because lots of car makers are saying, well, I'm going to produce an electric car, but when it comes to the control of refining, cathode, cell production, this is the key factor to reduce cost, and this is the reason why Tesla currently is already able to reduce prices and compete with other car makers, or in other words, other car makers cannot compete with them because the prices are going down too fast. Now, when it comes to lithium, we also know it is there. It is so much out there. The issue right now was actually that there is not enough production, and so right now prices are falling. And the reason behind that is as well China. China has a lot of issues with their economy. This is something we have seen out of Giga Shanghai as well. The amount of people that are buying cars right now is very hard to get, or they are very hard to get as consumers. So you have to reduce the cost and the price to attract even more people. If you're an English-speaking person, as you're on my English-speaking channel, you can also join Ecar Review. The link is in the description. There's a group, lots of German people, but you can write as well in English. I find that very interesting. Over 530 people are already there. We are close to 14,000, so maybe you check out my website, e-car-review.com. You can just check in. You can rate your Tesla. Do that, please, because it's very important to get more people to know what it is to drive a Tesla. Now, when we look into the Korean economic newspaper here, we have the Tesla has stopped using BYD title. And so this is actually pretty interesting. First of all, I know there were battery packs in Giga Berlin. Second, there was no official partnerships right now. And I'm not aware that BYD batteries were actually in the low-priced models. Because right now, I'm still aware that CATL is in the Model Y standard range and as well in the Model 3 standard range. So please correct me if I'm wrong here, but for a European customer, I don't see any reason to worry. But BYD has a lot of issues. I told you that there are many big fleet managers in China that are receiving cars from BYD that have issues with the batteries, and this is something you should be aware of. So BYD has issues when it comes to the battery, and this is something we have to watch. And I don't see right now any kind of chance that Tesla is working with BYD together based on these circumstances. Then we're going to look into the current inventory in Europe. Good news, it's further declining, and this is what I have been expecting for a long time. I told you prices are going down, and this is helping to as well get more people buying a Tesla. And this is something that we have to keep in mind. I don't think that the inventory is going to be too high by the end of the quarter. The key factor will be how much was Tesla able to actually earn with the amount of cars they sold. This is the key factor that we have to keep in mind. But I don't see any major demand issues. Cars are moving out. Inventory is going down. So much about the demand issue that many people are looking at. Now, when it comes to James Catt, which was actually pretty bearish for a long time, just want to let you know, we had in Q1 so far in Giga Shanghai, 130,000 cars being produced, exported and sold domestically around 140,000 cars. We are expecting currently, when it comes to China, when it comes to Europe and the United States, around 15,000 cars in inventory. In China to be exact here. So again, guys, I think the entire demand thing, again, is the same thing we have seen many times out there, many people discussing, and at the end of the day, there was always the moment that we could see that Tesla's actually not having any issues to get cars out. Now, when it comes to hardware 4, I just want to go into it one more time. So the key factor here is that Tesla is able to save around $2 per vehicle due to removing some small parts, and it will help streamline manufacturing, as well as the communication on the hardware is much better in the hardware 4 than the hardware 3. And with that, it will allow Tesla to have much faster communication, much faster power here, or stronger power. And this will help. But again, for hardware 3, guys, FSD Beta is working on hardware 3. So I don't see any issues as well here when it comes to the capabilities of hardware 4 or hardware 3. So thank you very much for being here today. I'm glad to have you here. And if you're new to my channel, do consider subscribing. And I do wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much for your support. Bye-bye.